Good morning and welcome to today's episode of the podcast. It is about 11 o'clock. Usually I record around 8 because that's when I'm headed to work, but today we had a doctor's appointment because my wife and I are expecting our second baby. And we were waiting until the doctor's appointment to make sure everything was good before talking about it at all. But now got everyone or got everything looked at. Everything looks good, so it's time to get to being happy, celebrating it. Oh, I mean, we've known for 4 weeks, 5 weeks now, something like that. Maybe it was even 6 weeks now, but I didn't want to. No, it's only been 5 weeks since we figured it out, I think. But yeah, we weren't ready to say anything about it until we got to the doctor and made sure everything was going good. Oh, but yeah, it's super exciting. We did a first ultrasound and little baby's already kicking a little leg into the air. It's been so it's 9 weeks now. It's where we're at, and the baby's already got all 4 little limbs, and you can see the little limbs, the head, and the rear. Like, you can see it all pretty clearly. It's just amazing. I never get tired of seeing my little kids. My daughter as she's growing up, and now this next baby. Oh. But yeah, it'll be another 4 weeks probably until we. Yeah, it'll be 4 weeks until we test to see whether it's a boy or a girl, and then it'll probably be another few days after that we are able to find out. So it'll be another month, and then we'll know whether we're having a boy or a girl. Oh, we already have one girl, so we're both kind of still trying to figure out what we think and what we want, because I'd like to have a son, but at the same time, I'm gonna be very happy if it's a little girl, and it honestly might be a lot easier financially because we already have all the little girl clothes and stuff. But oh, it's very fun, but also we just went over the finances of it all, and like how much it's gonna cost, to how much our insurance is gonna pay, and all that. It is not particularly gonna be easy because our budget's already not super tight, but a little tighter than we'd like it to be, and it's gonna be almost $4,000. But we're gonna switch insurance partway through, so we'll see. Yeah, I'm hoping that we can kind of get the insurance rates, get some good insurance rates next year, and so it'll all be kind of put under a slightly better insurance plan. Because right now we're just trying to afford the insurance, and with no medical bills at all, it's a lot. But insurance is just one of those areas where when you start going into it, you start really getting, at least I start getting mad and worked up about it because they're really not helping us at all. We pay a crazy amount of money every month just so that they can not give us any money back unless we have something catastrophic happen. And that's not even for the like big insurance things, because yeah, if we have a little bit cheaper insurance just because we don't use it very often, so in order to afford the monthly payment we had to get cheaper insurance. It doesn't cover as much, but now it's going to be a bit more to cover the appointments for this unless we switch, which I'm hoping that we can make a change and get everything sorted under a good insurance policy that'll help cover a lot. But I just really think that insurance has gone crazy. There's absolutely no reason it should cost as much as it does. Oh, but yeah, I've almost said it so many times in the past month of podcasts. I've been talking about different things. I've almost talked about how we're expecting a little baby, but yeah, we've had a miscarriage before, so we wanted to make sure everything was going good before talking about it. Which, you know, 1 in 4 pregnancies in the US miscarries, which is a high number, but a lot of people have gone through that, and it's something that I don't think a lot of people talk about just because it's very sad and doesn't feel good to talk about. But I think it is an important thing to talk about because my wife and I would have had a much harder time going through it if my parents hadn't talked to us so much about it, because they had uh, 2 miscarriages. So it was something that they were able to help us talk about and work through. Wasn't easy, but it happens. It's one of those things you gotta let yourself mourn and have that time to recover. But can't really do anything about it because it just happens for a lot of different reasons. But yeah, ours was early enough that there were no complications really, but it was difficult to go through. But this one seems to be going well and everything looks good and healthy, so hopefully everything goes well. But that's about all the time that I have for now because I just pulled up to work. So yeah, I'll continue this here in a bit. But that's some just great news that we got. Oh, keep missing the stop button. All right, welcome back. It's only been like an hour, but for me that is. Usually it's a few, but that's what happens when doctor's appointments run long. But I am very happy with that doctor's appointment, so I do not care. But, oh, you know those green power? I guess they're not always green, but those like electrical boxes that you get outside of. You get every now and then you especially get them outside of large buildings like schools or hospitals. They're like they're not breaker boxes. They're like transformer boxes, I guess. I don't really know, but they always have like a "do not sit on these" sign. And I remember when we were in high school, people. There was one that was at the corner of the school property, and when you would walk, because our high school was right across the street from a Walmart, and at lunchtime you could just come and go from campus as you chose. So we would go to Walmart during lunch sometimes, and a lot of people did because you just go buy some snacks or whatever and head back to school. But the thing is, the place you crossed the street at was right next to one of those boxes, and so there would always be kids sitting on that electrical box or standing on it or leaning on it. And they put up signs, but nobody really paid attention because we were dumb high schoolers. Luckily, nobody ever got hurt, but it was just one of those funny things I thought about because I saw it on the side of the road. But this morning, actually, we had the power kind of flicker at our house, and it went it went off and on a couple of times within a second or two. And that was weird, but I'm guessing it was some kind of transformer issue because we heard a kind of loud outside. And then, but our baby monitor we have started like sounding off a weird like ringtone, pretty much to let you know that it's not able to connect to the camera. because we actually have stopped using the camera. Well, the problem is our daughter does not like to sleep in her own bed yet, so she'll sleep with us, which, like, at her current age, it's not bad. She's not too big, doesn't take up too much room, but she's old enough that it's not dangerous at all. She can get under or out of the covers as much as she wants or needs to, but she doesn't sleep in her room, so we don't usually use the baby monitor unless she's like napping and we need to go do something else. But it automatically turns on when the power is connected to it, and it so yeah, when the power disconnected then reconnected, it turned on, but the camera wasn't on because that one is just an on-off switch. But yeah, I guess we were talking about we need to make a new list for what we need for like a baby shower or whatever, because even if it is another girl and we have plenty of clothes, we'll still need a lot of other things. And if it's a boy, we'll need a lot of clothes mainly, because yeah, but yeah, we'll just have to see what it is, I guess. But yeah, either way, we're gonna need like a big old stroller to push a couple kids at once. Luckily today we confirmed it was only one baby, not twins. So yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, I would have been happy to have twins, but it definitely would have been a little bit dicey on the finances of it, because yeah, twins is twice as much of everything, and would have been going from 1 to 3 kids very quickly. But I think we could have done it, but I'm glad we're taking it one at a time at least. Oh. You know, uh, we were last night. We were just kind of sitting around, and my daughter got some fake play money. Uh, she got it in the little set that came with a purse, and she was playing with it, and accidentally ripped one of the bills. And so I told her I would fix it, and went and got some tape and taped it back up for her. But the tape was in the room where we keep all our kind of hobby supplies and craft supplies and just stuff like that, because we keep that door closed so that she can't just wander in there and find some hobby knives or a pair of scissors or something dangerous like that. So we keep that door closed, so that's all protected. But she went in there with me to get the tape, and then she found my old guitar, because I was learning how to play. I never really got good at it. And didn't really take lessons. I just was learning on my own a bit. But then she wanted to hear it, and then I started just playing a couple of chords for her, and she got so excited that we just did that for like 30 minutes. And she loved it. She likes music a lot. Very musical little girl. And so I love doing it for her. But yeah, then she was playing piano with her mom. And it was nice. But I like showing her music and getting her into that because I feel like music's a very good thing for little kids, especially. But it's definitely something that I was wanting her to enjoy, so I'm glad she is enjoying it so far. But it's been a lot of fun. She's had a lot of milestones this past month or so, and like she said her first sentence, which is "What color is this?" And she's learning all her colors and her shapes. She learned to count to. She's counted to like 12 without a single problem before, but she can almost always count to 10 now. So she's doing really good at counting, and it's just so amazing having all that progress with her. With this next baby, it's crazy thinking back to how little she used to be and how big she is now. But that's all the time we got for now, so I'll continue this in a little bit. And I'm back. Oh, well, I was thinking, I'm going to be working about 5.5 hours today, but I am already feeling a lot better and less tired and more engaged than I do on a normal day. That's because I got to spend time with my family this morning and got to get up with them and spend a little more time with them before work. And I guess I could start getting up earlier, but I honestly think that, if my work started doing like 7-hour work days and gave me just a 1 extra hour in the morning, I would just do so much better every day and be able to get a lot more work done versus the whole 8 hours barely getting any time outside of work. So I think that honestly, if you just kind of give people a little more time to relax and all, they'll do better. Just day to day, but I don't think that people really care about how much work you do for them in terms of actual stuff, because everyone's kind of so used to the billable hour kind of deal, and so they think it's your time that they're paying for, not your effort, which leads to lower effort because it's your time that people care about. So as long as you show up, you're getting paid, which I also get why it's not, if you don't put in enough effort, you don't get paid, because you might be given unrealistic expectations and not be able to meet those. So it's hard to do a balanced, uh, it's hard to be balanced in that, I think, because you don't want to just pay somebody for showing up and leaving, and you don't want to just pay somebody if they get enough done. You want to pay them for showing up, but you also want them to only work as long as they need to and get stuff done good and fast. But yeah, it's just a hard kind of mix there. It's not easy, not very easy to do, because you need so much balance in there, and it's really hard to get that, because you'd also have to just change it person to person, where if you have a person who doesn't get much done, you might have to kind of just pay them by the hour to make sure they get enough work in. But if you have somebody who's very high efficiency, you want to pay them more for their work. That way they continue to get things done and don't just sit around not doing much. But I don't own a business, so I guess I can just wish about all this all I want, because I don't have to worry about laws and regulation and expectations and different people doing different things. I just get to be the guy at the sideline saying, hey, can I just do more work for less time and get paid the same? But then again, I don't really, at least I try not to waste time when I work. So I'm pretty much busy the entire 8 hours. There's days here and there where that's not the case, but most days I'm busy the whole time and keep up. Oh, I definitely get that. If I was paid by the job instead of by the hour, I might be prone to kind of skipping double checks on things, because we kind of have a process where we like to. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not because of these microphones, but that is a super loud truck that just passed me. Anyway, yeah, in my work we have a process where we like to double check things a lot and just make sure everything's reconciled down to the penny, which I definitely think if I was not getting paid regardless of how much I got done, if I got paid more for doing more and had to work less time, if I got it done faster, I might be prone to not double checking everything as much, which I don't necessarily think all the double checks we have are 100% necessary. but I think that they are good to have. It's just takes up a whole lot of the time, and we have the manpower for it for now, but if we ever get in a pinch, we might have to do away with all the double and triple checking everything. I think though that yeah, I'd like to think there's a way to kind of find a balance in the middle where it's worth it to let people have more family time. But I guess just the truth of it is you can't really expect everybody to have the same work ethic. And so you kind of got to cater to the lowest common denominator a lot of times if you want to have a uniform policy. And unfortunately, the lowest common denominator is somebody who is putting in the bare minimum. And I don't like doing that, but it's kind of frustrating that that's essentially what I get paid for, is doing my job to the most basic degree and don't really get a bonus or any kind of additional pay for trying. Which I think it's hard, especially in I'm in accounting, for example, and so it's very hard to kind of reward somebody for doing a lot of accounting because you don't really have a tangible example of a value added to the business from their increased effort. Whereas like sales, you have commission because it's very easy to say, hey, you brought in this money to the company, so here you can have a little share of that as a thank you. And sales actually is one of the better payment structures for that kind of thing because you are paid your salary or hourly amount. And then on top of that, you get commission for sales that you make. And so it is good for saying, yeah, you worked harder, so you get more money, but even if you just show up, you're going to do good. But at the same time, it's definitely more of it does incentivize you to kind of upsell and all that, which comes with its own issues. So I guess there's no really clean and easy, works every time, no issue payment structure. Because, I mean, I definitely prefer being salaried so that I kind of have that guarantee of income. And I know that when I do my job, I'm going to get paid. But there's a point where you do kind of think, it'd be nice to have a little more flexibility in my hours and pay so I could still get paid just as much or maybe even a little more, but work less hours. But I do not want to try sales at all, so I'm probably stuck with salary unless somebody can have an innovative new payment system that my business decides to adopt. Which I do like my work, and I think that they do that if there was a good option. I think there's just not really an easy way of doing that effectively. But that's all the time I got for now, so I will continue this podcast later. Hello, and welcome back to the last part of today's podcast. Well, this afternoon went pretty good, but we had a form that we were trying to get some people to fill out for setting up a thing that we do with our work, with my work, and we needed this form filled out by 198 different entities and different businesses essentially, and they have updated the form, and we fill out the form partially for them so that they know, so that all the information is there and it's all correct, and so they can just kind of review it and sign it. But yeah, we had an update to the form, and so now I have to go back through and refill out the form. It's like only 2 lines that I have to do. It's like a name and address, but they have to sign the new version if they haven't already signed the old version. And only like 5 of them, maybe a couple more, have signed the updated version, or the old version. So I'm spending a very long time, probably going to be a total of several hours. I don't know how many hours exactly, but I am going to be spending several hours over the next few days just entering in names and addresses on these forms. But at least it's good, clear work that I know how to do. So it's a little bit repetitive, but it gets done. Oh, but yeah, it was definitely interesting, to say the least. Oh, but I got it done. So, well, getting it done. I only managed to get through about 60, I think. So, around a third of the way done. So, I could probably finish it in the next 2 days. But certainly doesn't take too long. It's just like a couple minutes each, provided there's no issues. But I also have other things that I have to do, so getting that back at, I think it was like 2:30 that I started working on that. And then, yeah, about 2 minutes each. So it took until about, yeah, that makes sense because I stopped doing that at 5 about. But I had some other stuff I had to get done here and there and wasn't just sitting there doing it the whole time. So about 2 minutes each. But we will see where it goes from here. But now I'm ready to just get home and relax for a little while. Oh. There was a song I was thinking of earlier that I wanted to sing, but then I kind of lost the words. Oh yeah, I remembered the start to Colder Weather. I'll sing that one because I was wanting to sing that the other day but couldn't remember it. Let's see. She'd take Colorado if he'd take her with. Closes the door before the winter lets the cold in. And wonders if her love's strong enough to make him stay. She's answered by the tail lights shining through the window pane. He said, I wanna see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can I call you then? Said I'm a rambling man, and I ain't ever gonna change. I got a gypsy soul to blame, and I was born for leaving. At a truck stop diner just outside of Lincoln. The night is black as the coffee he was drinking. And in the waitress' eyes he sees the same old light a shining. Thinks of Colorado and the girl he left behind there. He said, I wanna see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can I call you then? She said, you're a rambling man, and you ain't never gonna change. You got a gypsy soul to blame, and you were born for leaving. Born for leaving. Well, it's a winding road when you're in the lost and found. I'm a lover, you're a lover, I'm a runner, and we go round and round. And I love you, but I leave you. I don't want you, but I need you. You know it's true because we're... man. Whoop. I just cannot get that last part. I think there might be like a key change or something in there, and I just can never get it quite right. Well, I got the verses, but yeah, that's one of those songs that like I don't particularly connect with the lyrics too much, but it's very fun to sing, and I enjoy singing it. And it's a nice kind of slower song, which I like those a lot, especially in country songs. But I'm trying to find more that are fun and good to sing a cappella because I don't have a ton of those that I know, but I feel like there's a good few of them. But I really don't know for sure which ones are good for a cappella until I try them, you know? So I might just keep trying them out. I have no idea what's going on up there. A guy just, a utilities vehicle, like a flatbed truck, just pulled in front of me and then turned his lights on, but like it's not an emergency vehicle at all. It's a like utility vehicle, and those lights are only meant to warn you when they're parked still, I think. But maybe he's on his way to fix some down power lines or something. Oh. Anyway, what I was saying is, yeah, I need to sing some more songs that I like. Just try and figure out which ones are good for a cappella and get a better handle. Like that last one, like I can do the verses good, but I just cannot get the right pitch on that last part there. I think it's the bridge it's called. I don't know that much about musical structure, but I think that's the bridge of the song. But yeah, I just on colder weather, I just can't quite get the something right about the pitch of those last few notes. Not sure if it's a key change or if it's just not in my ideal vocal range, but oh, wait. I'm pulling in now, so that's just about all the time I have for today. But oh, thanks if anyone is listening. And talk to y'all again tomorrow. Well, for me tomorrow, for y'all probably not tomorrow. Oh, but either way, that's all I got for today.